Welcome to 5 Pints In, the show where we're literally 5 pints in. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I feel like we don't usually clink in the beginning.
No.
But anyway, so we got to address the elephant in the room. The shirt that Ian is wearing that's being covered up right now. If you're watching on the video, first of all, if you're not watching on the video and you're just listening to the audio, go check out the YouTube or go on Twitter because I'm sure this picture will be posted everywhere. Can you explain the shirt?
Shambles. That's all I can say. Absolute shambles.
So he's wearing a shirt with Jack Grealish on it.
Very nice.
So have you changed your tune then? You actually like him as a player now? Or what?
No. For the first time all season, I lost the predictor. I finished last. And this is my punishment. I was actually not looking forward to coming and putting on a Chelsea shirt. I was hating that. And then now you've come out with this thing. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
I don't know what's worse. You wearing the shirt, people comparing you as a player.
Don't touch me, I'll fall off my chair.
To Jack, to Grealish, or the lady in the print shop telling Connor he looks like Jack Grealish, asking him if it's him on the shirt.
It's actually, you know what, I was blasé about, for the whole season, you've been switching. Were you wearing a Chelsea and wearing a Man City or whatever? And I just didn't think nothing of it.
It's not nice, is it?
I never thought I was going to lose, but
yeah,
here I am today because it was a shitty weekend. Only 4 games and FA Cup mixed in.
Yeah.
And we wasn't even going to do it, was
no. Well, we were going to do just FA Cup, but
What, so you didn't try as hard?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
we still had 8.
No, Ollie Solskjaer put a shit team out against Leicester, and I did United to beat Leicester.
That's what you get.
We're not supposed to know this.
For back in United, then.
Yeah, I always go against United. And
No, I can't, you see, because if they lose, I'm still happy. And if they win, I've got my predictor right, so
yeah,
I'm sort of hedging my bets
but
a
then
little
you
bit.
pay the price.
I paid the price this time. Just don't get carried away. It's fucking one time.
We have to though.
It's one time, and this will go back in the cupboard and never be seen again.
We were saying, we spoke about this last week. We were like, okay, we can't just have him wear, because you wearing a Chelsea shirt, I don't think is as bad as.
Oh, it is.
I felt bad, like because we drew and it wasn't officially me that got.
You felt bad,
No,
but you don't went and done it.
Did we draw?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I did that at the apartment. I just ironed it on.
You felt terrible then, eh?
No, I felt great about this. I would kind of feel bad about you wearing a Chelsea shirt.
All right. Okay.
Well,
So would I.
I suggested at first a Man United shirt, and he said should be a written rule that none of us ever have to wear a Man United shirt.
Yeah, I'm up with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have worn it because it's part of the.
What, a Man
The
United
game.
shirt?
I would have had to. It's like when you do shots and people say, "Oh, I can't drink
It's
that."
worse than that.
I don't care if you can drink it. You've got to drink it.
I thought it would have been bad for branding if you were in a Man United shirt. Branding for the podcast. That's where my mind went.
It would have been shocking, yeah.
Like a
to be
picture
fair.
of you floating around. Imagine Man United fans.
Yeah, it's on the internet forever.
Yeah, we couldn't do that. That's way worse than this.
Well, so this isn't going to be on the internet forever.
It is, but
It is.
this is funny.
Yeah.
For
Now I don't feel
Yeah.
as bad about
funny
Chelsea.
for.
And you know what? We've actually got a special guest on the show. Welcome in Jack Grealish.
Imagine if somehow we could get him to sign it.
Yeah, if we did like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing for him and wanting to meet Jack Grealish.
I'm just not losing again. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple answer.
Well, we took advantage of this one. So here's the thing, too. I've been trying to get people as well, if you're listening, follow along with the predictor and post your results, because if you win, if you beat us in points, you can pick the punishment. So go on. I've been posting this on Twitter, and I think I posted it on...
You just made that up on your own, haven't you?
I'm not wearing a Man United shirt.
I have, but so if you want to go on Twitter or even on the Patreon page, you don't need to sign up for a subscription or anything. You can just go on there and post on the Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Post your predictors when we post ours, and if you beat us, if you can come first out of all 3 of us, over all 3 of us, you can pick the punishment. I don't know how this is going to work if there's multiple people winning, but we'll figure it out.
You made it up. Get on with it.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're here with the biggest Jack Grealish fan ever, and let's move into it then.
I missed him actually.
Yeah.
Clearly.
It's still, Aston Villa go and don't win a frigging game while he doesn't play.
Yeah.
And now all the talk's still about him, you know. They haven't won it in 6 games or whatever, and it coincides with him being missing for all them 6.
But here's the problem.
What goes on?
Here's my problem, and this probably isn't a popular opinion on the show. I think Jack Grealish is a good player, but what pisses me off is his falling down. Like we've said this, haven't we? He's got talent. For me, he does.
I don't think so. I think he's a bang average Aston Villa player.
For Aston, yeah. I mean,
and what's that? Like, who are you comparing that to? You can't even compare that to anyone in the Europa League.
Yeah.
You know, and why are we, like, no offense to them, why are we bringing them up if they not look like they're gonna do it? Like, he doesn't even look like he's got potential to grow. Maybe it's just because I only see him fall down.
That's what I think. I think it's. I don't think he's doing himself any favors.
I've seen the odd goal.
Do we need to? Okay, look, I'm wearing a shirt. Do we need to speak about him as well?
Oh no, I thought you wanted to.
No,
speak
we don't.
About him now.
No, we don't.
You showed up in the shirt, not us. So I mean,
I don't think I showed up in it. Do you? I don't think I was wearing it all day.
I don't know. But yeah. So anyway, we've got so post your predictions against us on Twitter, and you can pick an even more ridiculous punishment. But I think this is the best one yet. But moving on, I mean, me and you, Connor, have to get really solid with our predictor because he's going to come at us swinging with the next time we lose.
Fucking JPEG is, so he's not going to be able to do this.
I have people who work for me.
He's going to go into the shop asking for a JPEG of whoever we hate. Yeah. So obviously international break. We've actually got a new segment that we're airing in a little bit. We've got some video questions that were sent in. So if you want to be featured on the podcast, you can go to 5pintsin.com/submit and you can submit a video question there and we'll play it on the podcast. Hopefully we get enough to do it every week. And if you have any questions for Ian or any questions for just us in general or any things you want us to look at, post your video there. You can go in there. It's super easy. Just record your video in there and submit it. But I did want to start off with a topic here. So since it is international break, we're talking about England, right? And I mean, it was sort of the game the other day against San Marino. I don't know how many people chimed in and tuned into it. It's like 5-0.
I used to love the international breaks.
Yeah.
It used to be something to look forward to, and you couldn't wait to see England play. But I don't know what I'm going to get. That's my issue. I don't know who's going to play. I don't know what I'm going to get. Obviously, San Marino, it wasn't one that you were going to say, I'm going to make sure I'm watching that, I'm going to make sure I'm staying in. I was flicking over to the Hungary Poland game.
Yeah.
That seemed to be a little bit more exciting for me. So, you know, it was a walkover. You know, it could have been more goals. I kept flicking across and stuff. So I can't say it was a great performance. So the bits I've seen, it was just pedestrian.
Yeah.
You know, they couldn't even play football or didn't try to play football. You know, just defended. And we, after a few goals up, kept possession, sort of saying they were probing, but wasn't really probing. You know, was just waiting for an opening, waiting for a bad team to open up. I mean, look, you've got to beat whoever's put in front of you. They're in our group. We've got to go and do the business. And they went and did the business. I have the same shit all the time with the England team. I want to see a settled team, a settled squad, knowing who's going to be playing, who's going to be starting, what system we're going to be playing, and then look forward to pitting ourselves against the better sides when it gets later on in the group stages or later on in the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, but I just can't get up for it right now. I can't get up and excited about international football. You know, it's just not doing it for me right now.
Do you think that's because it's just World Cup qualifiers or whatever, or do you think it'll change in the Euros? Will the excitement come with it, you think?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we've been inundated with the Premier League every week. You know, with the time of the COVID and everything, and no fans being there, we thought when that came back, you know, we've sort of got used to it a little bit now and accepted it a bit. I still miss the atmosphere and the fans being there, and I'm sure the fans do unbelievably, but it's... To watch a Premier League game with no atmosphere is one thing you can get by. To watch an international game like that with no atmosphere is just dead for me.
Yeah.
And then Albania Sunday, is it?
Yeah.
So I'm not really excited about that neither.
But isn't that the nature? I mean, we played San Marino. I can't count how many times. I remember over the past few years, World Cup qualifiers, we've had them in the last few groups. Isn't that just the nature of the World Cup qualifiers?
I think so, but in the past when there's been fans there, at least there's been an atmosphere at the games, you know. And I mean, you're always looking at it as how long can they hold out before they concede the first goal, you know. And then you've got to go into looking at the other teams in our group. There's Hungary and Poland, really the only challenges. There's nothing really to worry about there. So it's a case of, can we fast forward? For me, can we fast forward through the qualifying stages? Just get it done.
Well, we usually go unbeaten, don't we? In some weird way, and it's this like record that's touted all over the media, and it's like, okay, but who are the teams in the group? You know, can you say that? I mean, to be honest, thinking back to the World Cup, I felt a different sort of excitement for England, and I know we went, you know, further than I guess people expected, and than we have in a little while, but there was excitement there, and I'm hoping that comes with the Euros. You know, I'm hoping that sort of buzz comes back, and you know, who knows about the fans? I mean, they're talking about having fans in I think they said late May. They were talking about having some fans in, but again, are they going to go with the 2,000? Are they going to, like, you know, slowly?
They said maybe 10,000 in some places, I think.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll see what happens there. But let's talk about the England squad that was picked for these qualifiers, because as soon as the squad came out, Connor tried to put a little bit of pressure on the bet we have of me saying I bet Reece James won't be taken to the Euros. Reece James was in the squad. He was in the starting 11 the other day. But to me, I think it was England reserves and John Stones. That's what I saw in that.
No bias there, eh?
No, none at all.
I was going to say Sterling as well, because I think Sterling will start anyway, you know, regardless of how he's been playing and whatever. You know, I wouldn't start Sterling in an England squad right now.
Somebody asked me the other day who would be your front two along with Kane.
Yeah.
If he's going a 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3, who would be your two? Because there was a debate on Twitter as well, or there was something on BBC Sports.
Yeah.
And they said there's 6 or 7 candidates that could be up there alongside them. Who would you pick?
Saka.
Saka was left out on the one I looked at. He missed out on it.
That's ridiculous.
So did Calvert-Lewin.
Well, I would
play Calvert-Lewin instead of Kane if I were to play I don't think they can play together.
No,
that's a difficult one because Kane can.
No, you're gonna have Kane and 2 wider players.
Yeah, so not. Calvert-Lewin, you got to play down the middle, don't you?
Yeah. He's a good foil.
100%.
You know
That's what I'm saying. I would play him instead of Kane if I wasn't playing Kane. But you got to play Rashford
on the left or something. Yeah, but do you compromise?
But isn't that where Grealish plays?
You don't play Grealish.
Why not?
No,
Villa can't win without him. England can, but
yeah, you don't play.
Was only San Marino.
Grealish.
He was the number 1 candidate, by the way.
Was he?
On that other one, yeah.
Of course he was.
Yeah. Because all it was showing was stats.
Where does and just call me biased all you want. Where does Foden fall into this England team?
I was thinking that if you don't really play him as you would like Saka or Rashford, Foden.
I said Foden and Rashford would be my 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think actually, you know what, we were gonna actually save these videos for halfway through, but we've got a video relevant here, not up front, about the England in the back from our friend Alex here. So let's just jump into it.
Hi guys, big fan of the podcast. If you have to pick right now number 1 for England, who are you picking? And also right back for England, who do you pick? And Connor's not allowed to answer this one because we already know who's going to answer.
All right, so thanks for that, Alex. He was actually speaking in a Scouse accent, so if you can translate. No, thanks, Alex. We appreciate you sending in that question, man. And good question. Who do you pick for the number 1, and who do you pick for the right back? And we've had this discussion a few times. But
and I take it Alex an Everton fan, isn't he?
Yeah, Alex.
Okay,
Everton fan.
so that's why he's asking, and I'm gonna make him happy because I still think Pickford should be the starting goalie. I really do. and another Scouser at right back. I think
Yeah.
Alexander Arnold. I don't understand why he was left out, to be honest with you. But that would be it. I'd have Pickford starting, and I'd have Alexander Arnold at right back.
Yeah, well, I would go Pickford as well, but I would obviously go Kyle Walker right back.
I don't think he'll play Kyle Walker as a natural right back. I think he's only going to play him if he plays him as a third centre back.
But why though? I just don't.
Well, I'm not saying that's what I would do. I'm saying that's what he would do.
Yeah.
Plus,
I
you
can't
got-
answer why for Gareth Southgate, can I?
You got two other right backs in better
Here we
form
go.
than.
All right,
Best player in the
Walker.
world.
That's right.
all right. So you've got Reece James right back, but who would you play in goal?
I don't know. It was originally Henderson, but he's been fucking up a lot, hasn't he? He's been landing weird goals.
Yeah.
I like Pope. Pickford's ruled out, isn't he?
He's injured right now, I think, isn't he?
Oh,
I think he was
it was just
asking if
'cause of the
everyone was
qualifiers.
fit. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah,
asking
yeah.
if everyone was fit. So
Yeah, I think Pickford just as much as the next guy.
I mean, to me, I would.
No,
you know,
Pope.
Here's the thing. You're going
I'm going
Pope and James. In an ideal world, Joe Hart would start.
he's
playing
gone
for
originally
Tottenham.
Henderson, then
Yeah.
Pickford.
No,
Pope.
yeah, I've been saying Henderson.
You have.
and he hasn't been playing. And
Yeah. He's been playing in the cup for United.
No, he has been playing because
Yes, yeah.
De Gea was away.
yeah, he's
Oh, he's away for
just
his
started.
baby. He just had his baby.
He just
didn't he?
started playing. I'm saying he got signed at the beginning of the year, didn't he?
No, he was
He was on loan.
at Sheffield United. He was a United player.
From the loan.
Yeah, sorry, but at the beginning of the season.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, at the beginning of the season now, and he's
They brought him back. Yeah, they didn't sign him.
Brought him back from Sheffield. Yeah.
Okay, but still, he came back at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he had a good season last season.
Yeah,
is
he
what
did.
I'm saying. So, one thing, my ideal situation would be Joe Hart starts getting games for Tottenham and breaks his way back in. I just hope he can sort of get in the mix again eventually, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
He's not going to get playing time at
You're
Tottenham.
talking
He's not
about
going
like
to get.
No.
time for the World Cup,
Yeah,
like
if it's I don't know. I just obviously soft spot for Joe Hart, but just to go back to the I mean, you have a soft spot for Joe Hart too. I know you do.
Of
I
course
like
I
Joe
do.
Hart as well, mate.
I mean, there was a time, where
it was Pep that did him wrong.
I don't know.
No, it was 100%. He brought in a keeper that was worse than him.
No, but I think Pep was looking for a very specific kind of player.
Yeah, he didn't fancy Joe Hart with his feet. That's what it was.
You know what, Joe Hart, I would say was another keeper. Obviously not as good as Edison at this, but those those balls he pings out of his hands. Joe Hart is was pretty decent at finding
Yeah.
passes like that as well.
The problem with Joe Hart from Pep's perspective is he was more no nonsense than I mean, composure.
Yeah, but I thought you could have taught him that then quicker than you could have taught Bravo to be as good as Joe Hart.
you
Bravo
can't
was
teach
hopeless.
Bravo to be good with his hands, mate.
Yeah, Bravo. Yeah. So yeah, you're right, but I just think Joe Hart's a certain type of. I don't think any English keeper you're gonna get what you get out of these Brazilian keepers.
Yeah, but
you know?
I know. But if you're good enough as a keeper, like Neuer is not really good with his feet at all. You know, he has like
He's just
Like, that's what he was
confident.
known for, though.
I know, yeah, because he's overconfident. I mean,
But he's
I
not
doubt
as
he could have done that.
precise. He's not as precise as Edison.
No, but he's that good at like just keeping the ball out his net.
It's
Yeah.
one of them positions that we're fortunate again, aren't we? We've got an abundance of young English talent in that position, like we do at fullback.
Yeah,
Yeah, and normally the wrong one gets picked.
I think Pickford's the right guy. I think he's got the
I think
aggression.
he'll do
You know what?
just as.
Pickford's
He doesn't mess up as much for England neither.
right. And,
Yeah.
yeah, and
But that's
Pickford's,
the
some
thing.
reason.
But that's the thing, though. He can.
Pickford's distribution though is so underrated. I think I really
I do
do.
agree with that.
And I remember. I mean, just one instance a couple of weeks ago. I think we spoke about it, but he screamed. Fuck, I'm going down the dead end. He screamed someone's name and he pinged the ball right to him, and it was just like
Right.
it made me realize. And then I started watching him a little closer, and he really does have that. I mean, for an English goalie, I don't think they're just used to just goalkeeping, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you get the Brazilian goalkeepers who are used to joining in sort of the
Did
maybe
any-
five-a-side
Did
sessions
anything
and
come
shit.
out about Alexander Arnold not being in the squad?
No, but here's my theory. I truly think this was an experimental squad. I mean, look
they're all experimental squads with Southgate.
But I just mean, I think he's got his staples that he knows he's going to take to the Euros, and right now he's not looking at it as a World Cup qualifier.
I was saying that. I was like, I think this squad is some of the squad that could be first team.
Yeah, you're saying better than second. What would you say, better than second string?
I don't remember, but yeah, they're like people that could be put in the first team slot if they do that good of a job.
Yeah. I mean, look, for James Ward-Prowse isn't going, is he? What was the... You sent us the squad, didn't you? I'll pull it up.
I don't know, dude. I always hate looking at it because...
I just want to see a settled team.
Wouldn't that be nice?
San Marino, in the past, you can say it's a chance to experiment, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we've been experimenting friggin' since the World Cup.
What other team does this? What other country does this?
I think other countries pick their best players.
Right, for every occasion.
But saying that, is that because they have to, because they're not certain of qualifying? But when do you stop? When do you stop experimenting?
I don't think you see Germany and they're certain of qualifying, aren't they? Spain, all them. Like, look,
I'm of the idea that you should be getting used to playing with each other because you don't come together so often anyway. So play your team that you've got in mind whenever you can. That team that you think is going to be your starting, or at least that system.
Well, you should be,
with a number of options to come in and play that system.
You don't want it only clicking at like the last game of the group stage.
We seem to be still throwing caps about.
Yeah, I mean he's basically deteriorating our Euro chances of going further by picking these players. I mean, look, Eric Dyer can fuck off. Right? Like, he's not...
Well, Jose's just done that as well, hasn't he? The weekend.
Yeah, he's not getting anywhere near it. I mean, Tyrone Mings isn't making the squad. Sam Johnstone isn't making the squad. Jude Bellingham isn't... Like, that's just because he went abroad, I think, you know? He went from Birmingham to
Dortmund.
Dortmund or Schalke?
Dortmund.
Was it Dortmund?
I think so.
Calvin Phillips probably won't make the squad. James Ward-Prowse definitely won't. Why won't Ward-Prowse?
Why are you so certain?
Well, if you think about the players he's missed out, who are definitely going, you know, I mean, first of all, Henderson. He's going to take Henderson regardless of how we feel of him. He's going. See,
the thing with Phillips is not the Leeds player when he plays for England.
Right.
It's just too simple and safe. You know, maybe that's because of the standard of teams that we're playing, but I'd still like to see him create more like he does. He does well.
He does well under pressure. It's almost like, I mean, Leeds sort of. It reminds me of that. You know when Klopp was at Dortmund and it was like heavy metal football, the pressing and stuff like that. Like Leeds are a chaotic side, you know. And Calvin Phillips seems to do well when he's gone against teams.
He thrives in that, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, he's the same sort of player as Declan Rice.
He didn't do anything wrong. Don't get me wrong. Right. He didn't do anything wrong. Didn't give much away, but he wasn't pressured at all.
Yeah.
To give the ball away.
I think he's a good young English talent. I don't think
I
he'll
like
go.
him. I like him. That's why I'm saying it, because I want to see more from him in an England shirt.
Yeah.
You know, that midfield role, that pivotal position where things come through. Mm-hmm. You know, create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not just there just to sit and hold and give it to others. You still got to get involved and create yourself.
Yeah.
And he's got the capabilities in his passing to pick people out, but he just was safe.
To me,
and I've seen it too many times.
Yeah. I said this the other week, or it was probably on that one lost episode we had.
You said you had all your best stuff on that,
yeah,
mate.
I did. Yeah. I had some gems. I got the predictor right. I think Calvin Phillips, if Declan Rice leaves West Ham, I think West Ham should go after Calvin Phillips. Because, I mean, there's a difference in physicality. Declan Rice is obviously next level, which is why he might, or, you know...
That's not happening, mate, is it? I think he would see that as a step sideways, unless West Ham qualify for the Champions League.
Well, Europa League isn't the draw, though? Isn't a draw enough of a draw for him? I mean, it leads to me on... I mean, Leeds could go Sheffield United next season. You know, the way they play... Look, they're playing... They're
not as bad, but they could definitely drop a lot further than
here's the thing,
they are now.
There's a lot of risk with Bielsa playing the way he wants to play, and it's going to come a time where Premier League teams see him for one season and then figure them out the next. So it all depends on that. I'm not saying for definite. I'm just saying, West Ham are a bigger. I
didn't mean to disrespect West Ham, obviously, but I think with that free-flowing football, he would prefer that than the style West Ham play right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying selfishly, like if I was in West Ham's shoes,
I would love him. I would love him at West Ham. I honestly would. But hopefully they get European football and Declan Rice doesn't go anywhere. But
that's that's the ideal. But
you can't hold people back if they belong in higher places.
Yeah.
Especially if the money's on the table and at the end of the day it's a business.
Yeah. Yeah, another one that really just kind of this England squad. First of all, so he's able to take 26 men for the qualifiers that are going on right now. He's only allowed to take 23 for the Euros. So there's going to be not only players replaced but positions cut or whatever. Ollie Watkins over not that it bothers me so much that Ollie Watkins is in there. It just bothers me that Ollie Watkins is in there over Patrick Bamford, who to me I think has a lot of talent, for the way England play as well. He's
It's another thing. Look, you used to have to earn your caps, and it seems now that you don't have to. You're here 5 minutes, and you're playing for your country. Yeah. But he goes and gets himself a goal, doesn't he? So it is San Marino, but it's still you're on a big stage. It is a little bit daunting. Not that I know, but. He's going to get himself on the score sheet, it's nice. Look, I've got nothing against him. I just think that everybody gets thrust into it, right, or thrown into it, or given it, instead of earning it.
But look, he gets picked, and then Bamford has an assist and a goal. Who was it against Fulham? I think.
Yeah, against Fulham. Yeah.
Well,
he also had more goals than him before that.
Yeah.
So what is he? How is he? Working out the difference in the players? Is he saying
he plays Watkins, next to Grealish? So he is a better all-round footballer than Bamford, or is he quicker than him? Does he want a faster man up front? And if that's the case, why has he got Harry Kane there? So, a lot of his decisions baffle me. And you know what? Garrett's a great fella. I know a lot of people who are close friends with him and say he's a great fella, but he's out there in the limelight to be shot at, and people are going to have opinions, and he's going to make decisions that affect the nation. So, we're all supporters in the end, right, aren't we? Even though we're not. Well, I don't have the excitement that I used to about the national team, but I'd still like to see him doing the right things or have a set thing. It's like he's plate spinning all the time,
He's pleasing the masses.
Well, he is, yeah. He's pleasing the masses, and that keeps you in a job.
Yeah.
Well, but at the end of the day, you got to get results.
And let those players go do whatever they want, and whatever they do is fine.
Well, look, there's no risk against San Marino and Albania, so maybe he has. I truly think this was an experimental squad, but again, I don't care who the opposition is.
Apparently, there is a risk in Albania, the security risk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't care who the opposition is. I'm on your side. I think you put together the squad that you're molding for the Euros. Yeah. And to me, half of this team, maybe
they're just not going to be there.
Maybe not half, but it's definitely an experiment. And how do you we all jokes aside? I know Alex took a dig at you about the Reece James thing, but how do you feel seeing Reece James in this? Stones is in there. Who? There's other players. Luke Shaw's a shoe-in, isn't he? So,
like I said, I think these are the people that, and it is ridiculous that Bamford's not in there. These are the people that have been talked about throughout the season. That he's just he's not sure, so he's giving them a chance.
Right. Walker's been out of the international picture. Where he was for a bit. Stones has been out because of his obviously form. Luke Shaw's been out from injury.
Ward-Prowse has been doing well this season.
Cody has only been in recently. Chilwell.
I don't get that one, Connor Cody. I honestly don't. I don't think he's international level. I really don't.
I don't think so. I think to me it's his leadership got him into this squad.
Who do you play over? I play him over Maguire every single day of the week.
Mate, I tell you what, if he's in there, Why is Dawson not in there?
Yeah.
West Ham up there in fourth. Why is that? Because they've solidified the defence, and it's been mainly him. And Wolves are having a shite season.
Yeah.
And
he was
he's
better last. I mean, he's.
Mate, he's not a good centre back. I don't think he's a good centre back. He's a good Scouse lad, but he's not a good centre back.
I think he's good for Wolves. I think he's.
His distribution is not the best.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think that's what he's there for, though. You know.
I think he's like.
If you want a battler, why wouldn't you have Dawson in?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Did you see he got hit in the face by his own player, and went down as if he's freaking poleaxed. Spent 3-4 minutes on the floor. What big centre half, really?
Yeah, but that, I mean,
okay, but who?
Tyrone Mings went for a header, and his hand swung back and hit him in the face.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Who would you have ahead of him though?
Well, you've got to play Stones. I think he's definitely going to play Maguire. I'm not sure about Keane.
That's true.
And I don't know. And look, didn't we predict it when West Ham signed Dawson, and they never even played him at the beginning?
You'll get a cap.
I said, you watch him come in. I said, and what's to stop him going on and getting an England cap? And maybe you can maybe say he's missed the boat. You know, bit of time in the wilderness at Watford, maybe. You know, lower division. He's gone on loan to a Premier League club. But shouldn't it be your performances?
It should.
100%.
I mean, the Euros are only a couple of months. It's not like he's going to age 3 years in that time.
But look, if he wants to play football, if he wants to play out from the back, he's probably not the greatest. But you know, he's not picking them type of players. He had Stones on for half a game.
But that's the thing. He doesn't want to. He wants to play out from the back, but he doesn't. I don't think he truly wants to do that. You know. I know it looks like they're trying to do that. But I just think he's just mimicking the. Not, it's not a fad, but like it's what's going on in football right now. The style right now that's hot is playing out from the back, and
well, you know what it also might be, in his defence, you know the way the club
in his defence,
yeah,
in his defence,
yeah, in his defence, yeah. No, I mean the players in general.
Yeah,
is he using the rotation system because the players are stressing that they're tired because of the Premier League?
Yeah,
is he helping them and saying, okay, I can rest a few and rotate at international level, which sounds ridiculous, but you know, you can't take away that they're playing, and they've played so many games this season because of the COVID and the congestion. Is he doing that to save the players that he wants for the Euros? But then you're losing out on getting them gelling with each other.
Yeah.
And getting used to each other.
I mean, clearly his priorities aren't getting them to gel with each other, is it? So I don't think he cares about rotation either. I think he just wants to see players out there who are on the fringe.
Well, there's still so much talk, wasn't there? I mean, it's an international break. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
But Premier League managers don't really want it, and don't want their players to play.
Right.
You know, because obviously their interest is their club, which is your employer. So, is he sort of bowing down a bit to the clubs by resting a couple, or you know?
I mean, maybe, but again, I just go back to I think he saw San Marino, Albania. I want to see Stones out there. He hasn't been out in a while. I want to see. I mean, Ollie Watkins out. You know, I mean, he wants to throw caps around. I think just to see them in an England shirt. Like, I don't think. I don't know. I mean. I don't see Jesse Lingard.
Well, is there players with dual citizenship or have the chance to play for another country, and he's logging them in and saying, "You've got a cap now. That's you."
Maybe, and that brings me to actually another point.
Why would you do it right before the Euros, though?
But if he was doing that, Antonio has actually just sided with Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
So I think he would have. I mean,
I would have. No offense to Antonio, but I would have hated if he got an England cap.
I would maybe not as a centre forward, but in one of the wide positions.
I think he would. Yeah,
maybe.
Which is where he normally, he is.
I take that back then.
Yeah.
He's just not the man up top, is he?
I don't know. I still don't know.
He looks it if you
on
look at him, but
the international
you can't
stage.
play like
To be fair, he is 30, 31 now?
Yeah, he's
as well.
He's
Maybe
getting
he's
up
looking
there.
at
Yeah.
that. You know, because you've still got to build for the future. To be honest, you've still got to say, do we bring? But you don't bring a 17-year-old if he's not of that level. Could he play? This is how you should gauge it. Could he play against your Germanys, your Spains, your Italys, or is it going to be we'll throw him in against San Marino?
It's funny how like the players like Foden and I mean Wilshere was picked up a little early, but they just get overlooked. Like the actual good players that are making a difference in games, but then it's like another kid scores the winner for some game and he gets a cap because of it, and Foden gets missed out for so long.
I would start Foden anyway.
I think you have to. I mean, I think
he's matured so much in the last year.
I mean, yeah.
Even if he didn't, he's still better than what we have.
He is. He's one of them players that you think when he gets it. I mean, look, let's look at Sterling, who's England captain. When he receives the ball, my first thought he's going to go backwards.
Yeah.
He's just going to pass it backwards.
I don't even think that.
When Foden gets
lose it.
When Foden gets it, I'm thinking something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt like that about a player for a long time.
Same thing with Saka.
Yeah. Saka as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Saka's like that out on the wing, but
they've got that aggression. It's like, okay, now I need to go. You know what I mean? Like, this is why
it's a positivity, mate.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's positive thinking. It's I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to go at somebody.
Yeah.
I'm going to get me cross in. I'm going to get me shot in. You know?
Yeah, it's like they
weren't
that
positive attitude.
Yeah, it's like they weren't spoiled from when they were a kid.
Yeah.
Like they figured it out early and knew it worked, and always works.
Yeah.
And it's no fear.
Exactly.
No fear. I'm not just going to go safe. I'm not going to be passive. I know I can do it. I know I can go by him. I know I can make things happen. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And why not?
I think I think that hits the nail on the head there. I mean, I don't want to keep talking Foden up because I've been doing it.
No,
you don't have to with him, mate. You don't have to.
Well, I did years ago.
He's he deserved it.
Yeah.
And still does.
He's definitely.
But that was a long answer for Alex, wasn't it? Did you get your answer?
So the answer, Alex, was Pickford basic. Well,
did he say to me the other day that he thinks Everton are going to finish above Chelsea? Or was that like the time I saw him before that?
I have a bet with Alex that he bet me $50 in the beginning of the season that he said Everton were going to finish above City.
Right, he's obviously made of money.
So
can he bet me as well?
Yeah,
some things.
Get you all in
some things. Just pick your own bet, Al.
Yeah, didn't mean to. Yeah, but thanks for that, Alex. And again, if you want to send in your video question, be featured on the podcast like that, 5pintsin.com/submit, and you can go submit your video there. So on the topic of England, though, but moving back into the Premier League. So
how good is Foden?
How good? Yeah. So no, this is about strikers, right? So right now, there are. I actually posted this on Twitter. So if either of you look at the our podcast Twitter, you'll know the answer. But if you don't, which
how do you get on it?
So I posted it on Twitter. So there are 11 English players in the top 20 Premier League goal scorers this season right now. 11 out of the 20 top scorers are English. When do you think the last time...
I did see it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Okay, and you saw it, so you know the answer?
Was it Shearer 95, 96 or 96, 97?
96, 97 was the last time there was 11 English goal scorers in the top 20 in the Premier League. I just kind of want to dig into that and
I feel like we could have guessed that.
Well, yeah, you could have guessed it, but isn't that?
Well, the difference was how many English strikers there was back then.
Well, yeah,
that was my point, and that was
the top three were Shearer, Wright, and Fowler, and then you go back, and I mean the highest season, the first season of the Premier League, 92-93, there were 16 English. You had Sheringham, Ferdinand, Holdsworth, Quinn, David White, Armstrong, Shearer. But yeah, isn't that crazy? It's been what is that, 23, 24 years since there's been this many. I know the season hasn't finished and it's probably fluctuated over time as well, but that's a lot of English goal scorers to be up there.
This season, yeah.
You've got Bamford and Watkins in there as well, you know, obviously Harry Kane.
But that statement right there just shines a light on how different it is.
Well, yeah.
You know, those are all, like, I'm sure we could even, like, name them. They're all world-class players, you know? It's not any that are just, like, everyone gets a fucking penalty nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
Not saying that all these English players, we do have a good group of English players coming through, but it's nowhere in comparison to what it was in the 90s.
No, when you say their names there, Shearer, Wright,
Yeah.
Fowler, that doesn't come close. The players today don't come close.
No, not.
Right.
Yeah.
But is the
really.
competition not harder now with how foreign the league is?
No, it doesn't make the competition harder. It means the law of averages. The number of the volume of players.
But I'm saying there's
isn't there
more.
also
there was more English strikers back then, but there's less English strikers now.
Isn't there also a rule in the academies or in the team that you have to have a certain amount of English players?
Homegrown players, yeah.
Yeah. See, back then, I
But
mean,
they didn't
obviously
need it
there was
because
players,
there was more anyway.
all those players went on to play in Europe in the supposed best teams in the world. You know,
Right.
the ones that did win the Champions League.
Right,
And they were
yeah.
their top scorers. You know.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
These players wouldn't be able to.
I'm just proposing-
sorry, I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't mean to fire this back at you.
I'm kind of being devil's advocate. I'm just saying, does that tell us something right now about English players? I mean, it's not easy for English players to top the scoring charts, is
He's
it?
holding a beer, just taking a sip of it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, to me, I think that's quite impressive. You know,
Is it?
I mean, we talk about England players just getting capped, but look, there's 11 of them in the top 20 right now. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's something to at least throw up in the air. And
Yeah.
yeah, and
Well
even
done for
talk
that.
about it.
Yeah.
And I did see it. You think I don't see it, don't you?
No, I know you saw it because
Because I retweet it.
you retweet it. Yeah. So.
And I do read it all the time because in case you used to cock up.
Yeah. Well, I spell check. So, let's jump into the games at the weekend. Then we've got we had City Everton
I was spot on. 2-0.
2-0.
That was my good result.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think Everton,
It was terrible. I want to. It was.
I only
It
got
was
to
a
watch the
nothing
first
game. It was
half.
dull. It was.
I-
You know, you got your big guns on the bench, and
Yeah,
We watched that with Alex actually, and Everton did well.
I think Everton put up a fight.
Yeah,
you say did well. Though. What did they try and create?
they did well against the informed City team.
But it wasn't an informed City team. It was
Yeah,
the backup players, and
yeah.
what did they leave 6 players out again?
Did they?
Something like that, 5 or 6.
Yeah, but
It changed 5 or 6. I'm not saying leave because you don't leave City players
but
out
that
there
doesn't.
'cause it doesn't matter who comes in.
Yeah, but changing 5 or 6 doesn't tell the story, does it? 'Cause it's still.
No, it doesn't. But
yeah.
there was no thrill and excitement of an FA Cup tie for me
No, I agree.
until the last maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, I agree, but it also wasn't like 80% possession one-sided. I mean, I don't know what the possession might have been in the 70s. Or
Well,
I don't think it was.
The
but
worst thing for me is
It
I've
wasn't
been
in the
threatened.
first half.
I've been threatened to put the bet on for the quadruple, and the worst thing for me is I've been lazy about it and not got it done. And now the odds will have come down because they've gone a little step further in the FA Cup, and because they drew Chelsea, they've come down even more.
No, all go up because you've drawn Chelsea.
That's a good point.
Oh my god! If Reece James scores the winner in that game,
What if
I'm
Reece
looking
James-
forward to that weekend. I'm looking forward
Me
to that
too, yeah.
podcast.
What if,
I love that it was either going to be the semi-final or we're meeting in the final.
we don't have to worry about it because Reece James isn't going to start. So I mean, there's going to be a non-conversation there. He will. I'm just kidding. He started what? You told me the last 5 games. He started half of the last 5 games. So close enough.
5 games.
How do you get half of the last 5
He
games?
started 2.5 of them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was what it was. I mean, De Bruyne scoring, was
Great finish as well.
yeah,
And Gundogan scoring again.
that
wasn't it?
diving header, yeah. But
Keeper actually made a great save.
Yeah,
Tipped it
on the
onto
first
the
one.
bar,
Yeah.
Tipped
From
it onto the bar.
Laporte, from Laporte's right foot as
Yeah,
well.
that's right. Yeah. But it was a stroll, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't actually. I'm not happy about drawing Chelsea. I'm not just saying this because you're sitting across the table from me, but I don't think it's. I don't know.
It's the worst draw you could have got.
Yeah.
Put it like that.
Look.
No. Don't. I let you have that.
Once you get through
you
Chelsea, now you've got the easy bit, winning the final. It'll be like the Watford one.
No, it won't though because it'll probably be Leicester, won't it? Because they'll probably beat Southampton.
And he'll sit in like he did at the Etihad. Can you imagine how fired up Pep's going to be if they get Leicester?
Yeah. Avenge the 5-2 with 3 penalties.
Yeah.
That's how they write it.
Brendan might think he's got his number.
Yeah, he doesn't. There's
he's going to sit in. And
90-day difference
by parking a bus.
No. Well, there's a 9-day difference between how City are playing right now and they were back then as well, It's just not the same.
Look, they're always susceptible to a team that does that. Wolves did it to them the season before. But it doesn't happen that often.
No.
And once it's happened once, it's not going to happen again with the same team.
No.
Pep's actually moved forward again.
Yeah.
He's moved on from there. And I like Brendan Rodgers, don't get me wrong. I like the way his team play,
Ian Nacho's been doing well, hasn't
he? Yeah, he got an assist. I think was it a goal and an assist against United, or just an assist maybe?
Oh no,
2 goals, wasn't it?
He scored a hat trick the game before.
2 goals and an assist.
Maybe.
I think he scored 2 against United.
I know he got a hat trick the game before. I'm not thrilled about Chelsea. I think I don't know. Tuchel's Tiny Tommy Tuchel's unbeaten still. 15 games in a row. Actually, you know what? I've got a stat for you.
14 or 15.
Tuchel's 14 game unbeaten run is the longest ever by a Chelsea manager.
Yeah.
There you go. Chelsea stat.
Listen, doesn't mean jack shit. Win something.
Is
Prove
that
yourself.
true?
That? Yeah. I looked
With
it up.
Frank Lampard's players.
I don't want to...
Can we just sit here though and
drink? Don't you want to speak no more?
Yeah.
Can we sit here and what?
No, I was going to say, go on.
It's nice when stuff like that works out. When someone like this whole Southgate thing, it's like, it's hard for. I imagine you guys don't remember what it's like to have a manager you don't want at your club, but just sitting there, just wanting this person to go, and someone comes in, not necessarily the person you wanted to come in, but someone that you thought would have done a better job, and are doing 10 times better job.
No, you have to be over the moon right now with.
None. I mean, we don't have anyone that
Chelsea
can finish, but
okay, so there's
everything else is amazing.
He hasn't done nothing yet. He's
Yeah, I
done
know.
nothing yet.
I know. Yeah, I know.
There's, 10 games
Well,
left in the league or whatever?
I'm gonna knock out both my other Chelsea stats I've got for you here.
Go on then, mate.
So he hasn't done anything yet. This is a response to that. Chelsea are the first English club to eliminate Atletico Madrid from a knockout stage in a European competition.
Who's right back is Kieran Trippier.
Since Bolton in 07-08 in the UEFA Cup last 32.
Still done nothing.
And then, sorry, this is... I told you I created a Chelsea section in my notes, but this is the last Chelsea stat I've got. I had 3.
You can spread these out.
Well, I'm just saying, it just makes sense while we're on the subject. We can
always come back to Chelsea, is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, you're talking about you don't have a striker.
Elliot's question.
Yeah, no. We've got 2 other questions we'll get to, but just so Chelsea are apparently willing to spend big on a centre forward this summer, and their 2 targets are Haaland,
Diego Costa,
who I can see it. Haaland, who Dortmund have put a 180 million euro price tag on.
That's nothing for Chelsea.
Can you guess the other one?
There's only one team who can afford that.
Yeah, PSG, or Lukaku is the other one that Chelsea are looking at.
There's talk of Lukaku in Barcelona as well.
Please don't let him come back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's a different person, mate.
They say, that keeps happening with Chelsea let him go and then bring him back and then...
No, I'm
him
good.
Go again.
So that sentence doesn't mean anything to me because I kind of don't think Haaland would go. He would only go if he wants to get greedy. He'll end up at Chelsea.
See, I don't think he'll end up at Chelsea as well, but I think it's big that they've
And I don't
announced.
want Lukaku.
Well, they've announced they're willing to spend most of their transfer budget on a centre forward.
He's not going to Chelsea. He's not going to London.
Why not?
I don't see him fitting in there.
He fits in every single squad on the planet right now.
I don't see him fitting in a club like Chelsea. I see him going to Man City
He's his own position though. He does
or Real Madrid.
that whole last third.
I
He
could
does
see him-
everything in it. So it's like he doesn't need people around him
I could
to,
see
help
I could see him at PSG as well. I
don't want him going to
a cop-out,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is.
Again, it's a cop-out.
It is.
I think he'd rather stay at Dortmund than go to PSG.
Well, but who knows? I'm just saying that's an.
But he also had that thing. Well, hopefully this is still a thing in football where you have.
Where Mbappe or someone made fun of him,
He scored 2 and then he did a celebration,
and then the whole team did the whatever that is. Yeah, apparently City representatives have been in talks with his dad about the transfer. That's what I read.
I hope he ends up at the best team because I want to see the best football. Period.
I just think, and I've said this from the
Good way of
beginning,
looking on it, mate, yeah.
there's an affinity with
City
because of his dad,
Of course.
I mean, I don't think his dad's involved in the. I don't know what involvement he has with.
Look, at the end of the day,
player.
if you're the hottest property... No, I'll take it back what I said before. City or Real Madrid. City or Bayern Munich. I think they're the only two.
We've spoken
teams
about
go
this
to.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. they're the
Anyway,
only two
Haaland's
they
going
go
to be a hot topic, isn't he? The other topic is Aguero is apparently supposedly there's talk of him leaving, as we know, at the end of the season. Guardiola said Aguero and Fernandinho's contract talks can wait, and Aguero is open to go into another Premier League team. Now, whether he's just like
Wants to
forcing
go to Chelsea.
his hand, I mean that's actually kind of scary if they're looking to spend money on a
I would
forward.
hate to see him to go to another Premier League club, but look, you don't know what goes
Chelsea.
on behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah.
He might just be I don't know. I mean, he seems obviously comfortable. He's actually going into his.
Well, that's the thing. Aguero's been playing like he's been playing before Pep came in. So if he just wants to play at the Premier League standard, I think he deserves that. If they don't want to play him, he deserves to still play at the Premier League.
I'm fine with him leaving if he's not being played. I'm fine with anybody going.
Yeah.
You know, it means that we are good enough that you can afford to let somebody like that go.
But I mean, you're not.
I think they are.
I mean, Aguero's your best striker right now.
But the team's doing it without him, and have done it without him. So, and they're on the best run for God knows how long.
But isn't your goal?
So many consecutive
Isn't your
wins,
goal
mate.
to win the Champions League and supposedly the quadruple?
Well, he's
and
not going to go before that, is he?
You couldn't do that. Well,
He's not going to leave before that. He can't.
That's
can he?
true.
He said he wouldn't leave
and-
until the Champions League's.
Unless you think Haaland comes, Aguero stays, they play up top together.
Fucking hell.
It's not going to happen. We
Messi
sometimes
comes.
play with no centre forward. Never mind two.
Messi, Haaland, and Aguero all up top.
It said today Messi signed a new contract. I think Rivaldo said he'd had words with the new president or whatever. And it
Rivaldo.
looks like Messi's
I don't believe anything
Well, look,
that
it's
comes
all-
out
it's
of
all
Rivaldo's
gossip.
mouth.
It's all gossip.
I'm not bothering with the.
I actually
The
don't
Messi
care
shit.
where he goes, to be honest with you.
I want him to be happy.
I'd like to see him in the Premier League, but
I do. Yeah, I did.
if it's not City, he's not coming to the Premier
it's
League.
getting to. It's.
He's
sort
not
of-
coming to the Premier League. if it
Beckham
isn't Man City.
I keep seeing these quotes from Beckham chiming in about Inter Miami. And it's just like he talks about how he's the best footballer on the planet. Like, then why would you take away some of the best football?
Yeah.
Like, why would you take away a couple of years from
Right,
the
Don't
best
you
player?
see what they do?
Of course, yeah.
It's
of
the
course you
MLS
see.
trying to get their name out there, trying to put themselves in amongst.
But that's just. That's
It's
just
bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's never going to happen
Yeah.
until he's 35, 36 years old.
Who?
Haaland.
Oh.
It's never going to be. And then
Oh,
the
I thought-
MLS.
Oh, we were
the
talking about
MLS
we were talking about Messi.
Oh.
Messi, yeah.
yeah, even that.
But still,
Same
yeah,
thing.
same shit.
Same stuff. Yeah.
I-
Why
I
is he
don't-
coming here?
I didn't see
Yeah.
that. I didn't see that about Haaland. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Let's
Imagine if Haaland went to the MLS.
It's even worse with Messi.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's even worse.
I know it is. Yeah.
Let's
They just jump on the marketing bandwagon. Let's get the MLS name out there, the advertising and all that shit.
Yeah.
So we could get advertisement out there just to.
Because if we put our name next to Messi,
well,
people are going to read it.
It's going to get clicks.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into West Ham then. We've got a question here from Paul, and then we'll get onto the Arsenal game.
Yeah, it's just a quick question. If West Ham qualified for Europe, do you think they're better suited to the Europa League or the Champions League, and would they have the squad? And could they do well in either of those competitions? Which one do you think they would do the best in your opinion? Thanks a lot. Take care.
Good man, by the way. Nice to hear from an Hammers fan.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that question, Paul. It's a good one.
I think you got to shoot for the stars. You know what I mean? I'd rather see them in the Champions League, and then cutting their teeth. I wouldn't really care how far they went as long as they represented themselves really well. You know, the Europa League. It's still some strong teams in the Europa League.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that much difference. You know, but obviously I want to see them be more successful. And just the thought of them being in the Champions League for me is what I would want more than anything. And then, like I say, I still think they could equip themselves really well. And I don't see why they couldn't get through a group stage, you know?
Yeah. Do you think... I mean, so they're sitting in 5th right now. They've been flirting with 4th, obviously. I mean, let's just say in a perfect world, Man United drop out, and then Chelsea and West Ham are up in the Champions League spot. There's such a difference with attracting players if they make Champions League instead of Europa League this season. I mean, let's just say we're assuming, right? Like, hopefully this form keeps up and they can keep in the European spots. If they, I guess there's 2 ways we can go with this. First of all, the squad depth, to me, probably isn't quite there, but to deal with European games. But if they get Champions League, I think they could attract a player or two.
Definitely.
I think they keep Declan Rice.
It puts more pressure on the owners to go and spend some money as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're teetering on the brink here with West Ham. All these years we felt they should be in and around there. This is their best opportunity. Now, are they going to take this and push on and forever be challenging in years to come?
Yeah.
And this is the chance and the closest and the best opportunity they've had in forever, to be honest with you. Can they get to that Champions League, attract better players, and then kick on as a club from there on? You know, I think it's a big time for the club.
Yeah.
As big as they've had forever, you know, but I still don't see why, if they can get through a grueling Premier League season and be up there fighting, why couldn't they get through a group stage in the Champions League?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, obviously they won't be a seeded team. They're going to end up with at least 2 top, you know, well-versed, experienced in the Champions League themselves.
Right.
They'll probably end up in a group like that. But they've proved themselves against the best in this country, which is supposedly the best league in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So why couldn't they?
I mean, look at the teams who sort of, they could compete with an Inter Milan easily.
Definitely.
They could compete with a Porto. I mean,
there's been teams that have gone far in the Champions League that aren't as good as West Ham. There's been teams that have won the Europa League that aren't as good as West Ham.
Yeah.
I would have this West Ham team and that Leicester team at the beginning of the season, I would have said this West Ham team would have won the Champions League before that Leicester team wins the Premier League. You know? And like you just said, I think the Premier League is harder than the Champions League.
Yeah.
And they're doing this well in the Premier League.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Champions League, once you do get, like you said, they probably will end up with like a top tier team, probably like Real Madrid or like a team like Dortmund, who are obviously better than them in their group. They'll trickle through, and then the last 16, it's anyone's game, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it involves a little bit of luck, doesn't it?
But yeah, and they have Souček, don't they?
Let's think back all that way to Man City's first, the foray into the Champions. Nobody expected anything.
Yeah.
So it was acceptable that they weren't going to go in and win. There was no pressure, so they can go and enjoy themselves. They can go and enjoy the actual being in the Champions League. And plus, you know, you're going to get them, 8 games in your group stage, is it?
No.
6 games. 6 games in your group stage. So there's no real pressure. You can feel your way in a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you finish there, it's no embarrassment. Nobody expected it in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying this is now the important stage for the club.
Yeah.
Because we're on that brink. You know, even to imagine, do the owners not want it? You know, do they want to? Okay, even if we finish 7th or 8th and don't really get it,
they want to play it safe.
Is it? You know, people are still going to be okay with everything because we've punched above our weight, so to speak.
They'll get cash, right, for qualifying.
Yeah.
So,
but will they want to spend?
Well, I guess that depends how much. And to me, I think it's worth it, like, obviously, really pushing for the Champions League spot right now, because I think, again, first and foremost, it would attract players, it would keep players, but it won't take... I think if they make Europa League, the focus is still going to be on how they do in the league.
I'm gonna arc back to the Man United performance a couple of games ago.
Yeah.
That's not a team that's pushing for the Champions League
when
you go out and play like that.
No.
Because 1 point, even if they'd have gone there and got a draw, 1 point is not going to get you in the Champions League. Now, the Arsenal game, look,
the first
different West Ham that came out firing.
Yeah.
Different West Ham that came out firing and couldn't hold on to it, changed tactics again.
Yeah.
To a more negative approach in the second half, and you'd invited trouble from... you can do that. You do that against teams in the Champions League and you're destroyed.
Yeah.
And this was only Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I did have it as a draw, but I didn't see it happening like that, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, in half time, even though I was teetering on the brink of wearing this shite, I didn't know it was this, but still losing anything doesn't go down well with me. I'm still happy I'm not getting my result right at 3-0, you know. There was always that thing, though. There was always that feeling watching the game that it wasn't enough.
Is that the last step West Ham need to... Like, because we've always spoken, since last season in the relegation fight, we've spoken about building blocks that Moyes has been laying down, right? It's like, okay, you lay down the defensive building block, you've got your back five, we always said, let's see something creative up top. Yeah. It took a little longer than I think we... I say we, I mean, that I'm not that I'm a West Ham fan. West Ham is second in my heart to City, you know, but I mean, obviously I have a love for them, so I watch them like that. So I always thought, let's get a creative player in there after the building block. The back five solidified. Now you need, to me, I always call for Lanzini, but obviously that didn't really happen. Now you've got Jesse Lingard, who's sort of playing that role,
he's
doing it well.
He is doing it.
Who I've talked a lot of shit about, but he's doing the role. So it's like, so is the next building block, is it working up 3-0 and not losing 3 goals? You know, whether it's an own goal or whatever it is. You know, two own goals. Sorry,
well,
I mean,
look, they seen it firsthand when they did it at Tottenham.
Yeah.
So what could they have taken from that and learned from that? You know, it was a bit lackluster and slack of them.
Yeah.
So, you go 2 goals up and teams come back. You can sort of say fine, because everybody talks about 2 goals isn't enough. You know, it's always if the other team gets that next one, the momentum shifts and whatever. But 3 goals, you really shouldn't be getting pegged back from 3-0 up.
I would also say both the own goals weren't really at fault.
It wasn't massive mistakes. What I mean?
Dawson had to do what he had to do.
Of course he did. I mean, then Souček won. It just happened.
It just happened.
You can't account for that.
See, going back to the Champions League thing, I think even West Ham, let's say hypothetically they make it into the Champions League, they don't get the third.
Expensive Chelsea.
No, Leicester or United, and they like you said, they go and they try or whatever, but at least they get the experience. They see teams like the likes of Porto and teams that that they're on their in form on their day are better than, but these teams have Champions League experience. So Shakhtar in there as well. Those
even Leon.
The likes of those. You see those games like against City and that. They play like it's a World Cup final, and I don't think I've ever seen West Ham play like that. And so even if they go to the Champions League, like skip the Europa League, go and like finish fourth, don't even make it in with the third place, they can go take that experience, see those teams that they are better than, that do play like it's a World Cup final, and hopefully that maybe makes them better in the Premier League season the next season.
Well, hopefully as you were saying,
in the cup games and stuff like that.
In the group game, I completely agree with you. But in the group games, it depends how quick they can adapt, and
or even just not adapting. Then just if they get shit on for 6 games and they go, okay, let's step back and then just look at what we did. And then learn from that. Just go and get go and get your cap in the Champions League, you know.
Can you imagine though, Europa League or Champions League, whatever, away games with fans next season for West Ham in Europe? Like how crazy that would be. I mean, I think any West Ham, especially coming off last season, you know, the bounce back they've had. It would just be, I mean,
since after the lockdown, really, mate,
yeah, and then think about, I mean, just the atmosphere.
Do you want to ruin?
So they've actually done it for longer.
I thought there was a snake there.
They've actually done it longer than this season.
Yeah,
they did it for the last 10 games of last season.
Oh, not the last game, but
well,
it took the foot off the gas.
They didn't lose it, you know, and there was nothing for them to play for. So except to get Villa down.
I'm just
disappointed
for Bournemouth to stay up, right?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like just the difference between last season, this season. You know, the last 10 games.
Well, look, let's say they got to the group stage and finished third, and then went to the Europa League.
See, I think that would be like kind of bad for them, because I think the Europa League is their level, and I don't think they could easily win it, but they could definitely be like I said before, there's been worse teams that won it. But they would definitely get knocked down a peg, I think, if they go in the Europa League, because there'll be even worse teams fighting like it's a World Cup final and beating them. And I don't think they'll be able to take that well. I think if it's Champions League teams,
I think you've got a point about this World Cup final mentality.
Oh, yeah, all those other teams go crazy.
Yeah.
But look, how great are Sevilla? And they've put their stamp on that. Tournament.
Oh yeah, of course.
Are they that much better than West Ham?
No, they're not. No, that's
but they've got European experience.
See, but also those players that are playing against the likes of West Ham, they're also same thing that happened with Ronaldo and Man United. Those players are getting looked at.
Yeah.
So it's more than a World Cup final. They're also getting a chance to be seen.
By their country.
And West Ham players are already there. You know, they're cruising at
it's
fourth.
It's almost like the privilege of being in the Premier League almost might. There's a point there. I mean, we won't know until we see it.
Like you said,
it's a good
hitting above your weight.
Punching above
your weight.
Yeah. I don't know if I said that, but
yeah, no,
I think it was me that said it.
Like they're like content with the success that they've got from doing that.
Look, either way, it'll be a lesson, won't it? And hopefully it's a lesson.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, hopefully, you can see Moyes' to one big positive, not just from where West Ham is in the league, is Moyes is taking this in, and he's obviously learning. He's building those blocks. You know, he's progressing. I mean,
he's listening to our podcast. So.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. So. Moyes, if you want to send in a question, 5pints.com/submit, and we'll answer them. But let's move on to the last question we have here. Our friend Elliot.
I don't think I'm looking at him with a straight face.
I know, yeah. I just thanked him for putting a T-shirt on. He's never wearing one. He's got a nice City shirt on there. But we'll move on and we'll transition to City before we wrap this up.
Because we haven't talked about it. No.
Hey, Bish. Long-time listener, forever a fan. With City heading into the Champions League quarterfinal for the third year straight, what advice do you have to the players should they concede that first goal, lose momentum, and fall behind? As a player who's been in these situations before, like when a club promotion was on the line, what advice did you have for your teammates and could share with the City players today to ensure they control the outcome of this match and advance to the Champions League semifinals. Thanks, Bish, and go City.
He's the cake, silly.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know how many
That was a
times
long
he rehearsed?
question.
You know how many times he rehearsed for that?
He had Alan with card, dropping him, like telling him what to
He's
say.
got a whole camera crew behind there.
Well, I don't know what advice I see. Never been in that situation with the Champions League. You know, I mean, these players have been there before.
Right.
You know, only last season. I'm sure the lessons have been learned from last season.
I think he means more going behind in a game, and like you know, like in the Wembley final, it's
Right.
going behind, and then what's the mentality it takes?
Yeah, you just it's a belief in yourself and what you're doing. You know, you're doing the right things, but things aren't coming off. You're doing the right things, chances aren't going in. You go 2-0 down like we did in the playoff final, if that's what he's alluding to, and you just have to keep going. There's got to be an inner strength. There's got to be. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but somebody's asked me the question that when I came on at Wembley, Andy Morrison was coming off, and he whispered something in my ear, and he was asking what was he saying, and what he was saying to me was, it's on your shoulders. They listen to you, get them going at it, you know, and that's all you can do. You've got to work for each other and keep. It's just a never say die mentality that you have, you know. It's never done till it's done, and as we proved that day, equalising in the 95th, I think it was, you know, to more or less change, you know, the future of the club, in a sense. But
Well, definitely, yeah.
you've got to have that in you. I'm sure the City players have that in them right now. It's not very often that they get in that scenario, like going down in a game and not being able to claw it back. Pep has a belief in his system and in his players, and they stick to it no matter what. They're not going to win every game, but they stick to that belief that they have, and that's the only thing you can do. Everybody has to have that fire in the belly, and at that level, it should be instilled and ingrained in you to have that fire in your belly. Losing is the worst habit you can have. You know, the City players haven't had that habit for God knows how long now. You know, but falling at the last hurdle or the second to last hurdle has been common over the last few years, and they've got to figure that out. They've got to understand that you can't. Sometimes you do have to change your approach. You know, you look. This is exciting for me. When I seen the draw, and I seen we're playing Dortmund, I just think it's going to be an open, free-flowing game, and the fact that I don't believe Haaland will be as effective because I don't believe his team's going to have the ball.
Right.
So it's now looking at them and their danger areas and saying, and Pep will be right on top of it. I know he will. And I've said it before. I don't see that scenario happening this year because, as I talked about earlier, I'm probably the only person saying it about the quadruple. I think this is the year. I think it's going to happen.
I think you're the only. Yeah, I'm treading lightly about the quadruple.
Well, people won't say it because they think that affects the results, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have said it. That's not your fault if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean that's just weird superstitious shit, isn't it? But I mean, just focusing on the Champions League, it's like, I mean, Dortmund's not an easy pull, but I
think that's the best. Sorry, go on.
I think we're saying the same thing. I don't think I would have been happy with Porto either. I mean, even though we beat them, but we drew with them as well. I mean,
you can't say that.
I don't care who they get. I really don't.
Yeah,
because to win it, if you got Bayern now and knocked them out, you're now looking at we've taken the biggest fish.
Yeah. I think.
So here's the thing: if the way the bracket's set up, if we get past Dortmund, we've got the winner of Bayern or PSG.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. But in the past few seasons, we've seen Pep starts fucking with shit with the formation. Is it nerves? Is it?
That's definitely not nerves, is it?
Well, I don't know. What was it against Leon? What was it switching up?
You think it's overthinking?
Overthinking. Maybe not nerves, but overthinking. We beat Real Madrid. You know what I mean? With a system that he devised from looking at Madrid and shutting down Carvajal.
It was the same. We mess up against counter-attacking teams.
Yeah.
And that's how Leon set up.
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
And Real Madrid won't do that to you.
It was
PSG did that against Barca in the second game.
Yeah.
And looked fucking awful.
Well, look, his
they were holding on to what they did. They didn't do that in the first game.
No.
Why would he change his tactics?
Yeah, okay, but then you look 3 years prior and the craziest comeback ever. You don't think that has something to do with it?
Of course it affects it.
And it was the same exact scenario.
But we have a better opportunity actually playing the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to fear you and they're going to be open and they're going to say, we're better than you, and they're going to come at you.
Pep will have a better game plan for the bigger clubs.
Definitely.
But also, what I was going to say is, whatever happens to you in the Champions League, this is the best thing that could have happened to you, because Haaland will be the best thing that will happen to you in the next couple of years if you sign him. Well, so having him, playing against him and outclassing him, and because I don't think he's as special as people are making him out to be. I do think he's special, and I think he is someone that the Premier League need to, not Man United, the Premier League need to get and hone. You know, but I think City, I think they play the best football. I think Pep can completely phase Haaland out, and I think if Haaland sees that firsthand in 2 games, he'll be blown away.
Out because his team aren't going to have the ball.
Yeah.
That's how he's going to phase him out. But the best thing about this is
no. But
he's getting a bird's eye view of this
what
team.
He could be, yeah.
But that's what
he could be.
That's what I'm saying, and he goes, oh, so what they're doing to me, if I was just sitting if I was sitting up top for them, doing this at me, you know?
Let's also think, if you are going to let Aguero go, you've got to replace him with something special.
And there's no one else.
This wasn't
nobody bigger.
This wasn't like Tevez leaving. This is bigger than that.
This is way bigger. Aguero's in his 10th season right now.
And Tevez made more of a stink than anyone could.
Yeah.
You know?
But my answer to Elliot is they're not going to go down.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not, but I think,
But his question was, what happens when they do?
Yeah. But, I mean, so you say City haven't been in their mentality, but I remember, and I was on the phone with them the other day, actually, and we were talking about the Leon game where Sterling had his friggin' pitching wedge out in front of goal, and he's chipped it over, and it would have made it 1-1.
It's fine lines, isn't it? It's fine lines.
Yeah.
Them things happen, and them things decide games. Look, at least it was that decides games, not referees.
Yeah.
Which happens right now.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think
I just think it's time.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's
time for what?
It's time for City to win the Champions League. It's time. It's
time.
You're
saying to get rid of
Sterling. For them to win the 4 trophies.
I just think I would say it's time to win the Champions League. To be honest, if
they didn't, we'd be talking about it, saying that they were the team that could have done that.
Could have, yeah, but
they were that one team that could have done it, and then some other shit team will come along and do it.
It's very, very rare in any walk of life that you get so close to doing it like they did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You don't get this opportunity again. Things happen for reasons.
Right.
And I just believe that if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen.
Like Cruyff with the World Cup.
Yeah.
And how close he got.
I couldn't, in context, I couldn't give a shit about the quadruple if we just win the Champions League.
You just want to.
That's because you know you've already got the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be a bad double.
I think even if Liverpool or I don't think I can say another name. If Liverpool won the Premier League this season, you still would have said what you just said.
Probably.
You just want that little notch on your belt.
I want the strap.
Yeah. You want that little
to go in your blue band.
Yeah.
No, but I think City, people.
No,
it's
the club,
whatever
World
they call it, but it's the Champions League. It's like
it's the highest
you can get. The reason Pep was brought in, the reason we've got these players we have, but the football we're playing as well.
It's been a weird year.
It's been a weird year. You know, whether that's a good or a bad.
Can I tell
fans.
You this?
Yeah, but let's just get the.
Can I tell you this? and you may not experience it, but Chelsea winning the Champions League
He even laughs when he says it.
Chelsea winning the Champions League.
I remember.
Blame Bayern for that, by the way.
He couldn't do it with PSG, mate. He's not doing it with Chelsea.
What?
Little Tommy Tuchel.
Oh no! I'm saying when we won the Champions League, in 2012 with the.
Oh, I thought you were saying you could win it this time.
No chance.
Right. That's confidence for you.
Yeah.
You're not getting
No. We actually. I mean, this is the best chance we've had in years, since the only two teams that are better than us are probably Bayern Munich and City. PSG,
you think
maybe.
Are you guys writing PSG off against Bayern? Is that
I am.
Is that a done deal?
And if PSG beat Bayern, then it's honestly, I may throw Chelsea in there.
Well, yeah, because Bayern's the biggest threat. Then you're eliminating 50% of the threats.
and you slip up against Chelsea. I know you haven't as of late, but you do, and
I
will.
Agree. No, I agree. Chelsea's not easy for us. I'd rather, I mean, I know
Chelsea's definitely I think your hardest side.
We just got beat by United, but I fear Chelsea a little more. I mean, whether that's a
you should. I really think you should.
I don't fear anyone.
I think you beat everyone on the planet. Not Bayern, but I think you beat everyone on the planet.
I think we beat Bayern
at least 6 times out of 10.
I think we beat
7
Bayern.
times out of 10. Chelsea 6. You beat Chelsea 6, or maybe 5.
Yeah.
I think we're your toughest opponents, other than Bayern.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the whole draw actually.
Yeah,
I like all the games.
It seems like it's.
I like how there's an underdog, like Porto being like the little underdog. You know, it's like they're
Porto getting the easiest draw.
Yeah.
Was it the first year that Ronaldo and Messi aren't in it for
in the quarter
15 years or something like that?
Football's moved on now, eh?
Well, they're getting old, you know. But
no, I see. It's funny. That's not even the right answer for that, because they're still the both best players on their team.
No, it's the right answer, but look at the team. Yeah, but look at the team. They are both the best players in their teams. But
if Ronaldo went to PSG instead of Juventus,
their teams can't lean on them the way they are. Like Barca and Juventus need to.
But all right, well, if you look at the Champions League as a whole, the best players in that tournament who played the best football, they're still, both of them are both. Well, Messi's always there. Ronaldo's definitely in the top 5. You know,
Juventus on a force no more.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The team tries to lean on those. Juventus thought, we'll buy Ronaldo, we buy the Champions League. You know.
See, I think Ronaldo went there as like a boyhood dream kind of thing. I don't think he went there thinking.
If you buy Ronaldo at 28, it's different.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, but
still, I don't think Ronaldo went.
Mindset,
maybe, but I don't think. Yeah, of course they're getting Ronaldo.
But that's how Juventus are. They buy the league, don't they?
I don't think Ronaldo went there thinking
they can't buy the league this year neither.
No, yeah, I don't think Ronaldo went there,
which is the first time in 13 years, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably.
Who is it? Inter?
Yeah.
Up there?
Inter and AC Milan, yeah. I think.
And honestly, I love Italian football, so I'm so glad to see that shit finally not monopolized by Juventus. You know, like it's anyway, hopefully you answered Elliot's question. If not, he'll probably be up next weekend.
He'll give me a text on a call, yeah.
But thanks for the question, Elliot.
Cheers, mate.
We appreciate you putting on a shirt and a City shirt nonetheless. But yeah, I think that's everything I've got for you guys. I do want to end by asking you where you got that fantastic shirt again.
You know what? I've got a few of them in my wardrobe. Jack Grealish.
You will do.
Different colours.
Every time you lose, I'm going to give you a new shirt. So you just collect so many.
This is the only one I've got him standing up.
Yeah.
All the others is like
no, he's actually laying down there.
He had to flip the picture. Photoshop skills.
Is he asking the ref
to come pick him up?
Well, this is definitely getting burnt because I'm never wearing it again.
Well, I will
I'm
say...
never losing anyway.
We'll fine you if you don't show up in it after you lose.
Yeah, you get fined. Yeah. This has been the best punishment we've had. And if you have a better punishment and you're listening...
That's shite, though. Because how many times have you two lost?
You don't know
I lose once.
You don't know what a JPEG is.
I wasn't even asked. It was him.
I didn't until today.
Oh,
but,
really?
It's something to do on your computer.
Yeah. Something to do with Jack Grealish. Yeah, you could have easily thought of it. Anything.
It's his initials, JPEG, Jack Peggy Earl Grealish.
Peggy.
That's weird that it works out like that, is it not?
You should have the punishment group.
It doesn't work out at all.
It does.
If you say
Jack
you have to
P.E. Grealish. JPEG. Anyway. Alright, guys. Well, anyway, post your scores on Twitter and Facebook. And you can come up with a better punishment if you can. But also, guys, if you want to be featured on the podcast, like our friends Alex, Paul, and Elliot, you can submit your question at 5pintsin.com/submit. Whatever you want to say, just go in there, hit record, and then submit it, and we'll play it on the podcast, and we'll try and answer it the best we can. We do have one more question that was sent in by email from Karen. Thanks for emailing in, Karen. So it was about the Lacazette penalty against Tottenham, actually. What was that, about a week and a half ago or so?
I think we talked about it and it got lost in that last episode.
Oh, yeah, maybe, actually.
So, maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so the question is, surely if it was anywhere else on the pitch, it would have been a foul, as it was a late tackle.
That's what it says? A late tackle?
Yeah.
For the Lacazette penalty?
Do you want to...
With Sanchez?
I don't think it was a late tackle at all.
No. Lacazette's missed the ball
completely.
Yeah. And Lacazette's pretty much kicked Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a late tackle, but you can say that. You have an argument, but Sanchez is coming. There's only one place he can go. He's going in front of the ball if Lacazette hits the ball cleanly. Lacazette has missed the ball. The ball's bounced, gone under his left leg. So Lacazette's kicked Sanchez now, and then Lacazette's jumped in the air
And fell down. Yeah.
I'm
an Arsenal fan.
Taking a great penalty, and then gone and ran in front of the camera going, See,
I can't stand that.
Harry Kane just did the same thing against Villa.
I can't stand that.
Harry Kane just kicked. Was it Mings? He kicked someone.
Cash.
Did the same exact thing. Graham Lasso, I think, was trying to say, Graham Lasso's kind of all right about it. He'll be like, oh yeah, there was a great penalty and this, because you know how he speaks. He's like very proper.
Yeah.
But he's still kind of
articulate.
Yeah, he'll probably even say that about himself. But he still kind of calls out Kane and says, I don't know what he was doing. I think he was trying to back you.
If you're going to call him out. So nobody gets confused. You know what I mean? Don't dance around things.
He does it more than most. So right. I respect him for that.
Yeah, but if you're not doing it all the way, don't do it at all.
So, sorry, this Karen said she thought it was a late tackle.
Yeah. She was saying it'd be a foul as it was a late tackle, irrespective of whether Lacazette missed the ball or not.
It will be a foul anywhere on the field because the referees are shite.
Yeah.
And don't understand the game and are now dictating games and dictating results. Now they've become the important person in football. And it's ridiculous.
If Lacazette whiffs that ball, swings, and doesn't hit Sanchez, and Sanchez comes in and takes Lacazette out, then it's a penalty. Fair enough. Yeah. Lacazette has missed the ball. He's completely missed the ball. He hasn't hit Sanchez, though, and Sanchez has taken him out.
For me, if he makes contact and gets his shot away and his follow-through hits the defender, he can still get a penalty for that.
But the shot's already been taken.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they did. Once the shot...
No, I know what happened, but what I'm saying is, anywhere else on the field even, if he makes contact with the ball and his shot goes wherever...
Oh, okay.
Wherever.
Yeah.
And in his follow-through, he hits the defender, he's still going to get a penalty.
Yeah.
That's the way the rules are today, which is absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
And ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, because he doesn't make contact and he misses completely, which is...
But then he makes contact with
Sanchez. Still, they give a penalty.
Who only jumped in front of where the ball would have been going.
He assumes Lacazette's good enough to make contact with the ball and he wants to block the ball. Mm-hmm. There's no intent. Yeah. And there's actually no foul. It's Lacazette following through and hitting him, not him. Not him swinging to clear the ball and missing the ball completely and catching Lacazette.
If anything, if the ball gets missed completely, and let's say like Saka or someone comes in, after Lacazette has missed the ball and kicked Sanchez, and Lacazette and Saka goes off and scores, it still should be a foul to Tottenham, and because he just kicks Sanchez. That it's as simple as that. Lacazette kicks Sanchez.
The fact is,
and he got a penalty.
Referees don't know. They don't know.
Right.
And did VAR get involved, or was it one of them things that I still get confused with? It wasn't a clear and obvious error by the referee.
That was it.
So VAR can't come in and fix it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't matter if VAR could come in and fix it because they would still fuck it up.
Yeah. No. That was the whole thing, wasn't it? It was Michael Oliver, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
They said they couldn't. They
say
said
no
they
more.
Say no more. Yeah. But yeah, that was it.
Oliver.
That was the thing I sent you guys about on pitch decisions or something.
They're not allowed to intrude or whatever.
I actually didn't. I didn't see the episode. I didn't see the game live, but I remember watching it and then the commentators saying, "Oh, if they just saw." From our angle, they would know it's not, and
because I think they were looking when VAR checked it. I think they were looking at Michael Oliver, seeing where he was and did he make a mistake. And if he didn't make a mistake and he couldn't see it, then they can't touch it.
I'm not saying he didn't make a mistake.
No.
It wasn't clear and obvious.
Right. I think if the referee has a complete if the referee has a complete view of it, then they can't say the referee has to go and do it because then they're doubling down against the referee.
Make a clear and obvious
How
error.
does Michael Oliver
they say on the inside,
have a clear view of anything when his head's up his arse?
I don't know.
I hope that's answered the question.
All right, so Karen, we're definitely taking the opposite stance of you, but you said there was a big debate in your family. So I guess we're siding with the other side of your family. She did also say. No penalty is the decision here.
And I hate Tottenham more than anything.
She also brought up a memory that maybe you remember or not. Should have primed you on this. We know with the old age and stuff. So
CT.
So she says, I remember Batty.
If I wasn't old, I wouldn't be your dad. You wouldn't be here, would you?
That is true. She says, I remember Batty nearly chopping you in half once because you megged him. No histrionics, and he had monks chasing him around the pitch. For the rest of the game.
With his clothes on.
Don't think Batty even got booked.
No, I said, I remember the game.
Yeah.
I do. I remember he caught me on the thigh. I ended up going and doing a somersault, landing on my back, jumping up, telling the ref not to book him.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get on with the game. But also, the reason you don't want him booked or sent off is because you want time to get him back.
Yeah.
And that's the way the game was back then. And me and Batty had little ding-dongs with Leeds and Newcastle and Blackburn, and you have midfield battles, don't you? So that was the thing. I didn't want to show him that he'd hurt me.
Yeah.
And that's the way football was back then.
And
you didn't want to show weakness.
Yeah. And I think that's the only difference between you and Grealish.
My mate.
Other than that,
that's yin and yang
identical
there,
twins.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we appreciate you listening. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us a rating and a review. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And we'll be back next week. Cheers, guys.
Good days, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so let's jump over to West Ham then. We've got a question in here from Paul, so we'll take a listen to that.
Sorry. Can we start that again? I was just like scratching my balls the whole time.
Yeah,
that's all right. It's supposed to be natural.
Yeah, I know, but if he goes,
not
question,
with Manscaped, it's not.
Yeah, and I'm just in a bit. Oh,
yeah. All right.
I'm good.
All right, so let's jump into West.